Hello and welcome to aeTV. My name is Lachlan Rayner and welcome to the Journey to Poland with Darcy Roper and Shemaiah James. This is our third ever live stream here at aeTV, but we've learnt from the first two. We had a few errors, but we've got some new equipment, some new software, and we're ready to go. But enough about that. So we are here. We're doing a few shows in the lead up to the Olympics and the World Under-20 Championships, but today is all focused on the IAAF World Under-20 Championships in Poland later in the year. But without further ado, let's introduce our guests. So Darcy and Shemaiah, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Excited to be here.
No worries. So we were chatting a little bit before we went on air, just about, I guess, the lead up to the games. Is it something that's sunk in yet? We'll start with you, Darcy.
With the Olympic Games this year or the Under-20 Champs?
With the World Under-20 Championships.
Yeah, well, I mean, we, like, Shemaiah and I, after the Australian domestic season, haven't really competed after nationals or anything like that. So we've just been in pretty well a big training block. So we're starting to get towards, like, polishing everything off and getting towards the finishing touches and stuff of our training and everything like that. And you can see that all the jumps and everything's starting to come together. So it's getting heated, and you can see that the nerves are definitely starting to settle in, and yeah, we're just just preparing, making sure that we're ticking all the little boxes we can tick, and making sure that I'm staying hydrated more than I ever have been, and yeah, just little things like that to help you get that extra step. But I think until I get over there, I won't really be in competition mode, so to speak. So I'm just still having fun and just living my life and working and stuff until we leave.
So you touched on it a little bit before there, and sorry, Shemaiah, I'll stay with Darcy for the time being. I guess one thing that an issue that faces all Australians, and maybe you've dealt with it a little bit in the lead up to the World Youth Games last year, but as you said, you haven't competed since the national championships. Is it difficult to prepare for a major competition, a world competition, while we're in our winter cross-country season?
Yeah, like, I think, when you look at countries like the United States, and I've actually, had the pleasure of going over there and experiencing what it's like to train with them, and, and be amongst, like, a lot of great American athletes, that, like, it is totally different for all of us Australians, that we have to peak sort of like January through March, and then we have to, like, taper off then again and just go into training and stick with our training until then come June, July, and kind of then start to ramp things up again. And I think for me, looking back at my experiences in the lead up to the World Youth Championships, which was around the same time of the year as World Under-20s this year, like, I think that it hasn't really worked that well for me, having to peak early in the year, then come off it and train, and then peak again mid-year. So I think that both times now I've had little niggling injuries post our Australian season, which has really kind of, like, hindered on my preparations. But I'm so thankful and lucky to have had that experience last year. And so we know, like, what we're going into again this year. So I mean, for athletes, for a few athletes that have just qualified for this championships, and it is their first time, I definitely see how, like, things can go wrong, and if they ever need help or anything like that, like, there is a lot of experienced athletes like Jessica Thornton and Trey Williams and Shem, who have all, like, and now myself, who have all had that experience in having to peak kind of 2 times in the year and battle through all that.
Yeah. And I'll stop you there. We'll introduce Shemaiah soon. I just wanted to mention, and I forgot off the top, if you do, at the end, we will be answering or speaking to the boys about your questions. So if you do have any questions for the two guys, make sure you hashtag aeTVLive. And if we get a few by the end of the live stream, which should be in about 40 minutes, we will try and read through some of them. So aeTVLive, if you comment that on any of our social networks, we'll be able to see that, and we'll ask the boys later on in the stream. And Shemaiah, we kept you quiet down there in the corner for a little bit. 785, you're competing in the long jump as well at the World Junior Championships or World Under-20 Championships later on. Talk us through, you weren't at the World, you did the World Youth Olympic Games, sorry, in 2014. Are you looking at, like Darcy, are you looking at the experiences leading into those championships and working on them, finding out, I guess, what maybe didn't work for those championships and trying something different now? Or how do you go into the Youth Olympic Games? Are you taking that experience on now?
Well, yeah, it's a completely different experience this time, just because two more years training under my belt. I'm a completely different person now than I was 2 years ago, so that's completely shaped how I'll actually go into this competition. So I'm really looking forward to it. I got a lot of good networks around me that's going to support me while we're over there. And it's going to be good, like having Darcy there to push me. So like I'm really excited at the moment. For the experience 2 years ago, it was real daunting. It being like my first big international competition, and like as I said before, it's a different experience. Like we're going to be traveling a lot of times before the comp and doing competitions overseas and trying to climatize differently in Germany and then in different parts of Poland. So we have to take all that into account. But I think all in all, the main picture will be when it comes down to the day. I think we'll get our heads around it and we'll do pretty well there.
Yeah, definitely. And I should have asked. And do you guys train together at all? I don't know how close you live to one another or anything like that, but do you use each other to assist you in the lead up to these championships?
Yeah, well, we don't actually train together, but we train at the same track. So we're both at the University of Queensland. We just on either end of the long jump runways. So we see each other all the time. We exchange some comments to each other while we're training. Even tonight, we
Some Snapchats.
do a bit of a discussion.
Yeah.
It's all
It's nicely just like, man, you can't jump. Shem, that was so bad. What are you doing, bro? Go back to little athletics.
Stuff like that. I'm not really phased about who Darcy has this time to play around. But
That's good. You should do good in Poland then. So Darcy, we'll go back to you. I guess in doing the research for the this interview tonight, I went back and there was an article written about you after you got back from Colombia last year, and in the lead up, I guess, to those championships, and you were quoted, and I've got it here. So I was in a bad place at the time, and I was thinking to myself, I could change and I could do something. I needed that jump. I thought if I could pull out a jump, I could change my life, and I did. Can you sort of talk us through, I guess, the importance leading up to, or the importance of the championships, I guess, in your personal life leading into those into that event?
Yeah. So, there was a massive lead up for me for, heading into that championships. And, I mean, kind of the same thing as, Shem was saying before, going into your first international competition can be pretty daunting. But, I had some, complications at home and stuff, and I ended up in boarding school through year 12, and so I was preparing, for the biggest competition of my life, with my family and all my brothers being living next to me, in amongst 100 borders, and we're all together as a family kind of thing. And having my mom live down in Victoria and the rest of my family live down there, it was really hard, having that massive part of my support network so far away from me. And so pretty well my dad lived, it's about an hour's drive away from the school and away from the track and everything. So, it was just always really hard to catch up with him and whatnot. So, my main support network was really my school and my coach. And so we're leading into the, probably it was 8 weeks out of the departure from Miami, I think, for our pre-departure camp kind of thing that we had going over there. And anyway, 8 weeks out, and I started doing run-throughs and stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm feeling a bit of a glute problem, and it developed worse and worse, and like 5 weeks out, and it's still hanging around, and then it just got worse, and it was hanging around, and I was really in a like bad mental space, really, that I was just like down on myself, thinking, what's going on? All the boys around me at boarding, like, oh, come on, like, you're not training, what's going on? And it was really hard, and I had to just visualize everything. So we're pretty well walking into the biggest championships of my life, walking into the unknown. And I mean, I didn't really have many boundaries, I guess, or like, I didn't have anyone telling me, oh no, you can't do this or you can't do that. So and that's, that was my home situation. So, I mean, they probably don't want to hear this, but, I'd sneak out of the boarding house every now and then and go do my own thing, and I really wasn't, like, grounded. And so it was really hard for me, leading into this, like, a massive competition, and I'm just doing my own thing, like, couch surfing, whatever. And so, so anyways, when we finally got to the competition, like, I was strapped up from pretty well my bottom rib cage all the way down to my hip flexors, and just tape everywhere holding me together. And I was really hurting. I could feel this pain in my glute, and I'm thinking, look, I'm sitting in second, and then I think at one stage I even dropped to third, and I'm going, what's going on? Like, if you're going to do anything now, like, you're going to jump further than you ever have, and further than any other under-18 Australian ever has. And I was just thinking, like, it really could change my life, and it could change where I was living, what I was doing, my support, my funding, everything. And so on the last jump, I just got the crowd going, and the goosebumps were just off the charts, and the hairs were just standing straight up on end, and just flew down the runway, and there was just no question about what was going to happen. There was no what if. It was just, you're going to change your life here, and that's what I did. And and now we've got like great sponsor like ASICS helping me out and helping out training, and I have all these wonderful staff at Athletics Australia looking after me, and I'm on the NAS program, and it's really changed my life.
That's really good. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the video now. So apologies to people at home. We've had to disable the sound just because of some YouTube things, but we'll take a look at your 801 meter jump at Columbia last year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, there it was. It's a bit. It doesn't really do it justice without the sound, but that's all right. So that was last year. You placed second, first big world competition.
Yeah.
How much of a confidence boost was that for you going into this season? Or this season just gone?
I mean, confidence. Like, I don't think winning a silver medal boosted my confidence or anything. I think, to be honest, it really added pressure. And that, I don't mind pressure. I don't mind having added pressure on me to jump far, but I think it just brought in a little complications and stuff, because I know it shouldn't really matter, but when you've got people coming up to you you've never met before, you've never seen before, and they go, oh, are you going to jump 8 meters today and 8 meters this, and it's really putting an emphasis on me, and it's putting an emphasis on what I'm going to jump, and it's not just I then stop thinking about the process and thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing, and and then I start thinking, 8 meters this, 8 meters that, and it kind of all goes out the window. And I learned that this season that I've really got to stop focusing on the distance now that I have gone over 8 meters once. That I do need to just go back to basics and go back to thinking about the process, and then letting everything else sort itself after that. And I think throughout this season it was really a big learning curve, and this whole past year has been a massive learning curve, and I'm still learning, obviously, all the time, every day, but I think time will tell. Basically, I think time will tell now what I can produce and what I can really make of it, because I know that in me, and I know when you talk about confidence, I know that I can clear 8 meters, and I can do that consistently with the speed that I've developed over the season, over the last year. I'm running faster than I ever have. I'm stronger than I ever have been, and I'm confident. And so I know that if I do everything right, that I will go over 8 meters, and I'll do that consistently.
Yeah, Awesome. So, I mean, you were very exciting to watch during the season. I remember I spoke to you a few times at a few different meets. And yeah, we're definitely very keen to watch, I guess, what you can produce at World Juniors later on in the year. So we'll switch over to Shemaiah, give Darcy a bit of a break from from chatting. So off the top, we did mention, Shemaiah, that you did compete at the World Youth Olympic Championships. All these different events are really hard to sort of get your head around. But at this event, you competed in the 4x100 meters and the high jump. You're going to World Juniors for the long jump, so you've got a fair few bases covered. Do you still train for those events as well?
Oh, 4x100, I tend to dabble in a little. No. For high jump, as some people may know, that I do high jump, long jump, and triple jump. So, like, I was training throughout the season, in all the aspects. But the other two events didn't come together as well as I would have liked them to, so I wasn't fortunate enough to get selected in those events, which is kind of good and bad at the same time, because like I did want to compete in multiple events overseas, but at the same time, this is giving me the chance to, like one of the only times in my life, just focus on one event and put all my energy into that one event. So that I feel as if that'll be really good for myself. It'll give myself the best opportunity without having to worry about the next day that I'm gonna have to do a completely different event. That's one.
Yeah. So
one that's horizontal. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So talk us through, and I guess for the people watching that might not have an understanding, and coming from a distance background, I'm not sure myself. What does a typical week of training look like for you with all those different events? Do they complement each other quite nicely, or do you have to dedicate certain days to each event?
Well, there's ways to, I'd say, get around it. Like, so you just, if you do have multiple coaches, the coaches have to be on the same page with what's going on. If you have the one coach that's taking you for each event, for each of the events, there's got to be certain structures put into place that can make it all complement together. Because there has been times where I've had really good seasons doing all three events, and other seasons it hasn't been the best. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's like a lot of speed work, like it complements each of the events, and a lot of power training. And then for myself personally, I don't do too much technical sessions, as I've been doing it for a while now, so we tend to not focus too much on technical sessions, so that I don't really have to juggle the mindset of doing the three different events.
Yeah. So has your training changed at all now that you've qualified for World Juniors in just that one event, or are you still basically doing similar sessions throughout the week?
Yeah, well, the sessions are they're always going to change, but it's been more targeted at just the long jump, for long jump competition. So doing exercises that will help me carry my speed better, making sure that I'm staying injury free, just everything that can give myself the best opportunity being a long jumper. Yeah, so it's a complete mental shift for me. I've never done it. Never really done it before, and long jump's never been the one event for me. I've always tend to excel better in high jump, but this season I've become more of a long jumper, which it's cool.
Oh, well, it's working.
Yeah.
So, and we'll go to Nanjing, which is where your World Youth Olympic Games were in 2014. So I watched a video just before we went on that you made about your jumps in over there. Can you talk us through, I guess, the differences between standing out there on competing for Australia, basically, compared to, I guess, our state, national competitions?
Yeah.
What you found the most different or the biggest difference?
Well, I had a chat with Alex Stewart of New South Wales jump coach the day of my qualifying round, because I had a lot of people sending me like good luck messages, and then they were sending me links to what I was ranked, and it was scary seeing that, because I'd try to stay away from that as much as I could. And I don't know, because I don't want to try to sound arrogant, but I've a lot of the competitions that I've gone into, I've always been ranked within the top few. So
Yeah.
going to a different competition where I'm amongst the bottom few, it was completely different to me. I didn't know how to approach it, and like I had a lot of support networks saying to me like, you're a dark horse in this situation, like you've got nothing to lose and give it your best go. Like I scraped through to the final. I think I was the last spot into the final. Like qualifying rounds are really difficult, and then yeah, for the final, um, yeah, I think I had the chat with Alex again, and then we were just talking. He gave me some good advice. I'm not too sure what that advice was now, but whatever it was, it helped out a lot at the time. But, like it got me back into the mindset. I still had nothing to lose. Like I went into the competition like ranked like 12, like 12th or like 15th, and they like only took like 8 or something into the final. Um, so like just getting into the final was a blessing in itself, and then stepping up, I guess, in the final was even better achievement. I was happy.
Okay, no worries. Sorry, I was just having a look at the live chat there. So yes, keep making sure you send your questions through. Whoever that was that asked. Oh, Matt Denny, yes, we will definitely be answering any questions in the live chat on YouTube. So make sure you put them in there. If you're on any other social network, make sure you use the hashtag aeTVLive, and we will get to those questions right at the end. So we're going to change tacks a little bit. Once again, doing the research for this interview here, Shemaiah, I came across your YouTube channel. So you tend to be a bit of almost online famous with that. So 75,000 views, 500 subscribers. So you've definitely got us covered. So I should have done the live stream on your channel. I would have had a bit better luck. We're going to take a look at a video. I found one here. You've made a few of you and Darcy, but I picked this one out. I don't know how well it's going to go because, once again, I had to remove the sound, but we'll take a look.
Sorry, we can commentate. Oh, who's this light skin? Oh, look at him there. He must be good. Oh, that's Dean Ropes on the slow-mo with the white socks. Oh! Now.
Wait, look at this sneak shot. Ready? Oh, wait, no, not there. When we're on the podium. Sneak jab. Oh, was that arrow? Oh, second place.
One time, bro.
I was so much further than yours.
Oh, Robbie.
That was a good competition. That state finals.
Oh, this foul fam. Oh, would have been massive. 820, son. Mm-hmm.
That extension.
Fastest marathon.
And we'll cut it off there. So you've made a fair few of them, and I've had a look through almost every one of them. Quite good. So is it something that you enjoy doing, or it's just something that's come about, or are you going to pursue it?
Yeah, I try to pursue it as much as I can. Like, I really do enjoy doing it, and like it's even led to me doing studies about it. So I started studying film and television as well in the process. So I'm just trying to better myself a bit more in that aspect. But yeah, I enjoy doing it at the moment.
I think it was, I'm going off the top of my head here, Matt Denny did something, I think, for Athletics Australia. I don't know if it was last year in the World Youth Championships or it was the year before in the World Under 20, World Junior Championships, but he did the same thing. So are you going to take a video camera along or GoPro along to Poland later in the year?
Yeah, I plan on documenting the trip, so I trying to build up the audience, and then hopefully the audience will keep growing and follow all the journeys alongside us on the trip as well. And I'll try to get all the content out as quickly as I can, so that it feels like the people are there with us.
Yeah, definitely. Look forward to seeing him, and we'll chuck him a share on AE. So I guess now in the lead up, so coming up this weekend, not this weekend, this week, you've got your pre-departure camp in Townsville. Talk us through that, Darcy. I guess what's it for? What are you doing there? Do you have much of a schedule yet?
So my pre-departure camp up in Townsville will consist of mostly rehab stuff, a little hamstring problem that I'm battling. But there is obviously a big competition up there, and I think there'll be a lot of athletes coming over to try and get Olympic qualifiers out of the way, if they haven't already. So I'm assuming there'll be a few Japanese athletes come over again, as we've seen them around this domestic season and everything. So hopefully the competition will be a good one, and hopefully we'll see most of the World Under 20 athletes who will be going over and get their pre-departure standards out. And so it's really just like a stepping stone leading into the championships. But yeah, my Thursday through Sunday this weekend is just going to be like a few 80s and a couple 60s, and yeah, a bit of rehab stuff, and that's about it. And just just like ticking boxes kind of thing, and making sure that I'm all good come departure.
And so you mentioned there, so is there an actual competition that you're doing, or is it just a one set up for you guys?
There's an actual competition up there. I'm not sure what the name of it is, or who organised it, or anything like that, but yeah, no, there is definitely a competition up there that there'll be athletes competing at.
Yeah, the competition
Okay.
From Friday till Sunday.
Okay, yeah, because we were down as part of aeTV. We're down at a local track on Saturday, filming a few. I don't know, there were a few athletes here in Victoria doing in two locations pre-departure time. So I guess you've sort of got. I guess if that one didn't work, then they'll have to have a pretty good crack at it in Townsville this weekend. So, are you both on the plane now? You mentioned your pre-departures, so you both still have to do these, I guess, these jumps. What is it required from you both?
Just standing is 7 meters 35.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 7:35, and I'm gonna standing jump when I'm good to go again. So I'll standing jump that. But I don't know what Shem's gonna do. I think he's gonna probably go full run.
Stand jump 7:35.
No, I don't know. No, I think Shem and I would go off short approach and stuff, just to make sure that we're not gonna get any injuries or anything like that, because it's a bit risky, like going all out on a pre-departure standard.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, Shemaiah, have you done your pre-departure, or you're planning on doing it at Townsville?
Yeah, I'm gonna plan on doing it at Townsville, so I can tell Darcy what that seat on the plane feels like.
And you're doing a running full long jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might actually be going off a full run up on this Friday.
Okay. Awesome. So we'll keep an eye on those ones, and I'm sure stuff will come out through AA about how you guys are all going. So now with the trip, looking forward, when is it that you actually leave Melbourne? Because you do a fair bit, and it's something like a month prior to the actual World Under 20 Championships that you've actually leave. Talk us through what, from the time you leave Australia to the time you get to competition day, what it is that you do before then.
So I think we leave on the 22nd, and then we fly Sydney to Frankfurt, and
22nd
then
of June.
yeah, 22nd June, and then I'm pretty sure it's Sydney, Frankfurt, Frankfurt we bus across to Mannheim, and then from Mannheim I think we fly into Poland and we go into Milwaukee or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. And then and then we're on to Warsaw, I think it is. And then we go across, and then it's a bus to Spala, which is the Polish Olympic training. I think it's a training ground or something. So I think the all the complex there will be pretty good, and I think it'll be really good training conditions and stuff to prepare us and get us ready to head to Big Gosh, where we hit the championships and kick some booty.
Also, I think we're in Mannheim for about 10 days, I think we're doing 2 competitions over there. We have the opportunity to do 2 competitions there, and then where the Polish national thing is, there's a competition there, and then I think.
It sounds like you might need to read that itinerary once more.
So we're not worrying about that yet. We're just training still. So Mum will look after.
Maybe on the plane. And so, I mean, that's a fair way out from the competition. I know you've obviously got selected coaches by Athletics Australia. Have you had much contact with those AA selected coaches that will be over there with you, out of the country with you, or not as of yet?
Yeah, so they're our national junior event coaches, and so each specific event has their own coach, like you said, and basically they oversee all our training and stuff, and they're just really there to lend a helping hand and make sure that we're all on the right track and getting to where we need to be come the date of departure, and especially when we're over there and you're not going to have your personal coach with you the whole time. It's really good that they have already seen everything that we've been doing, and they know a lot obviously about the event, and so they're basically like your temporary coach while you're over there, and so we all have pretty good relationships with our national junior event coaches from 19s camps and under 17 camps and stuff, and so these are camps that Athletics Australia runs, and it's a really good process that they've got going, so that by the time that we make these and qualify for championships like these, we've already have such a good rapport and relationship with with these coaches, and so it just makes everything a breeze come competition time.
And are your coaches going over at all, or?
Yeah, mine will be.
Yeah.
So, what's the contact like there? I mean, I know for a few national events, your sort of athletes and everyone else are sort of separated. Do you have much contact with your personal coach there? I guess probably more on competition day, or what's the go there?
Yeah, that's it. So for me, I'm not sure about Shen's coach, but my coach Luke Donatini, he'll be heading over there, but we pretty well won't see each other until we're both in Big Gosh. So we won't really have any contact apart from your Facebook, and we'll contact each other over Skype, and we'll contact each other through our national junior event coaches communicating and stuff, but I won't actually see him until we're there at the championships. And the same thing happened when we were in Colombia as well. So Luke, he was in Houston, in Texas, training with Carl Lewis and everything at the university there, while I was in Miami preparing and stuff. So and then I didn't see him until the day of the qualifying rounds in Long. So I'm not sure. I think Shem, is that the same for you?
Well, Stacey is planning on coming overseas with us, so he'll be there from, I think, when we're in Germany, so early on in the trip, and then he's going to travel to the other competitions that I'll compete at in Poland, and it'll be there. So I'm hoping that I will get a lot of access to my personal coach while we're over there. So that's the plan for me at the moment. I'm not too sure how like it is structured on these trips.
Yeah. Okay. And I guess just another reminder for people, I am keeping an eye on those YouTube comments coming in. So I do see a few questions coming in. So we will get to them very shortly because we're almost done with my questions. So be sure, aeTVLive, use that hashtag, or probably easier, get onto the YouTube channel that we've been advertising. Ask the question there in the comments. We'll read through them in just a moment's time. So everything's out of the way. Poland competition day, long jump, you're both there. Talk us through the day, and we'll start, Shemaiah, we'll start with you. So from the moment you wake up to competition, what do you have a set routine that you're going to take in?
So, routines. I had a video on
Do you eat one meal before you compete? Do you have to start warming up at a certain time before the competition? Or do you just wing it?
I usually wing it, but the stuff that I do tend to go about is, I don't know, I hang out with the people that I'm closest with. So like they're always people that boost me up. We just go about like it's a normal day. I tend to listen to a lot of music and like dance around. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I listen to music and like I dance around. That's like gets my emotions rising, and then get to the. I tend not to eat that much, which is probably a bad habit that I have been trying to work my way out of. But and then head to the track, and then just proceed to do my normal warm up. Just treating it as if it's a normal competition, so that I don't psych myself out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And Darcy?
Yeah. So I'm the same as Shem. Like I hate eating big on the day of competition. I think it's just a jumpers thing. We got to stay light, and get rid of that excess luggage. But we like when I wake up, yeah, toilet is a must. Have to go to the toilet and get rid of everything. Every time, I don't know. It's just I can't compete unless it's all gone. So that's the first thing to pick off the bucket list.
I'll leave that question there.
Yeah. And then what we've got is that we've got the bangers, so we get the tunes on, and it's just pretty well bangers all day, and like snacking, so like muesli bars and nuts and stuff like that, all the way until competition, which sucked in Colombia because I didn't compete until like 8 o'clock at night, so I was just snacking all day, had that much Nutella, it was just off the charts, like I was just full Nutella that day, and I was just vibing off people, so like, yeah, I remember in Colombia it was Louis Stemmer, Josh Connolly, and Jordan Shelley, and we were all just like in a room, we had bangs going, we had the tunes, and we were all just vibing off each other, and that's how I prepare every time. So it's really good to like have people there and you can talk to and get rid of all the nerves and stuff and just calm you down and just relax and go out there and have fun, because at the end of the day, the aim of any competition is just to jump far and have fun while you're doing it.
And I mean, you touched on it there. Apart from, I guess, the competition and the experiences you'll get out of it, what from a non-athletic point of view, what is it that you're most looking forward to about the trip, or most looking forward to getting out of the trip as well? Sort of similar questions, but what is it that you think you're going to get out of it?
Yeah, I think from like, I mean, I'm not going to have the mindset of I need to get this out of the trip or whatever, but I know that I'll probably form a lot of like really good and lifelong friendships from this one, because especially after our Colombia trip, which was much shorter than this one will be, I'm like so close with the boys and all the girls that was on that trip. Like we, whenever you see each other at the track and stuff, you're basically like family. So you create bonds with people that you never thought, like I never thought that I would have and never expected to have. it's just really great because everyone gets along. And there are times when people will get homesick and stuff, and the nerves and everything all added up, and the time zone, it's all just like getting to you. So when you have all these athletes there with you, you guys just like everyone will just gel, and well, I hope everyone will just get along and stuff. And yeah, and I'm that's what I'm thinking that I'm going to get out of this trip, just some really great friendships and stuff, and some good results.
Definitely. And Shemaiah?
Yes. Sorry.
Do you know the question?
I do.
Yeah.
Would you like to repeat it, please?
From a non-athletic point of view, what is it that you think you will get out of the trip or would like to get out of the trip? Darcy said friendships, basically.
Yeah.
Is it the travel? Is it the friendships like Darcy? Is it the experience?
Yeah, I would probably be aiming a lot of the friendships. Like, I also would like the adventures of like the places that we're going. Like, it's places that I could never see myself just being like one day wanting to go to Bydgoszcz in Poland. Like, I would have never known where that was before getting selected for this trip. So, like, seeing what that country's like and how the people there are, how Germany's like, and what it's like to travel with these other people. Like, as Darcy's saying, like, he formed heaps of good friendships on his last trip. I did the same as well. Like, there was people on my trip that like I hadn't ever like really come in contact with before, and like now we're like best friends and chat like nearly every day. It's you make lifelong friends on these trips, and that's one of the big benefits of competing and going away on
Yeah,
team.
definitely. And I think, I mean, sort of when the last World Juniors were around is when sort of AE was taking off a little bit. And I mean, you can still, and from my point of view, I still know the people on that team by that simple fact, that connection there. So, I mean, if the outside world is sort of looking in and can see those friendships that you're making, it's definitely, I can only imagine what it's like to be right on the inner sanctum. So we're going to go to question time. I've been reading through quickly while you guys have been doing some talking. I'm trying to pay attention as well. But sorry, Matt Denny, one of our biggest commentators here has without a doubt been Matt Denny, and we've got to congratulate him on his 65-37 World Olympic qualifier the other night over in the US. So he's up there. I presume it's early morning for him watching over there. So congratulations as well. And he has corrected me as well. It wasn't him that was doing the YouTubing over at the World Juniors. It was Cedric Dubler.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about
bad.
Matt interviewed Shemaiah after the Queensland State Champs. That was a good one. You should check that out.
Okay, definitely will. I'll see if I can get it up. Okay, so I'll go through some questions. I have seen a few. I think we answered this one. Habibra Jess. I don't know if these are the real names or not, but have you both jumped your pre-departure standards yet?
No, we have not. Neither of us have competed within the pre-departure period.
No deal.
No. So that's a no. Sorry, Jess. We'll go through another. And I should have looked at these ones. Okay, from Josh Connolly. This one's for rope bar. Darcy, so you talk about doing the 1%ers like eating healthy and staying hydrated. Can you please explain the nutritional value behind his secret Nutella so I jump as good as him?
There's protein in Nutella. It's good for you. There's a heap of protein. Well, not a heap. There's a little bit of protein in Nutella. And I just love the sugar kick. And I also love the sugar kick of these guys. That's what I've been munging on this whole interview. To jump on them right now. I think there's buy 16 for like $2.50 or something right now at Coles. Get on that. So yeah, these little Kinder surprises and Nutella is great nutrition for you guys. No worries, Josh.
Okay, so Matt Denny keeps telling me he's got a question. I couldn't find it, but I do have it here. So I'll throw this one to Shemaiah because it's for both of you. But what are your specific goals for the world? So I presume that's for your World Juniors. So what's your goal?
Well, mine is actually bringing it back a step is to just get through the qualifying round. As bad as it sounds, 'cause, like I've been having this conversation with my coach, Darcy, and like he's telling me like qualifying rounds are the like toughest part about the competition. Like if you don't get through that, then there's no point trying to go for gold medals in the final.
Yeah, makes sense. And another one from Matt Denny here. So we've got a bit of time here. We've got about 10 minutes, so we'll try and we should be able to get through a lot of them. So another question from Matt Denny. What is your plan to deal with the stress and pressure of these outside things?
Darcy, you got this one.
Outside things. Maddie,
Yeah, I'm
what
not
do you
sure
like
what he's
about?
talking about there. So
I think
so
I know.
how is it that you're going to focus purely on the event? So when you're there, how are you going to forget about everything else? Yeah,
No
what, do
distraction.
you have any goals going into it, or you just are pretty comfortable?
Yeah, like I know a lot of people will bring like a tablet or their laptop and stuff on the trips, and like have a heap of movies and stuff downloaded before they compete. So it kind of like takes their mind off whatever they're thinking about or any stress that they're having to deal with. And so it definitely helps with sleep and stuff. But distractions, like I mean, I don't really see myself as getting distracted really easily, but I mean, like it's
Unless Shemaiah's around.
yeah, I guess it's kind of unhealthy to like be fully focused on your track and field 24/7. So for me, the easiest way to like unwind from all that is just scrolling through Facebook and stuff like that, and yeah, maybe a few movies here and there, but
You Snapchat?
yeah, oh god. If I put up my Snap now, I wonder if people could scan that. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Yeah, you
just
can at the
add
end. I'll give you a
yeah.
time. So you boys get your Snapchats ready. I'll let you put it up at the end. And so a few more questions. Fraser Simmons, one. So Darcy, when are you going to come back to Bendigo and jump?
Right on. Hopefully, I don't know, after the season, maybe towards the end of the year, I'll head back to old Benders and have a go. But it's I actually like the track. I actually like the track there. It's actually really good, surprisingly. Although there's a lot of duck poo everywhere, you got to dodge all that and whatever. But the track is really fun and it's actually super nice. So,
Is this apologies of my geography? Is this a Bendigo in Queensland or a Bendigo the one in Victoria?
No, Victoria in Vic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Fraser. End of the year, if there's a competition I'm there and I'll be jumping.
Definitely. So Fraser, set up a competition. Darcy will be there. So Shemaiah, one here for you from Teaster 7. Who would win in a dance-off?
If he's talking about himself, he knows that I've got him covered, fam. You see these moves I've got him? You don't want
I think we saw a bit of it in the Facebook Live before we went live on YouTube of old Shemaiah. And Cedric Doubler, so we were talking about him before. He's on. He's got a question for either of you. What's the best advice you were given, and what is some advice you would pass on to up-and-coming athletes?
Oh, that's good. That's a good question, Cedric. Why do you have to make it so hard, though? But I think probably the best bit of advice that I've ever received for, when you're looking at international competition or big competitions was from Sarah Mulcairns, and that's to expect the unexpected. And yeah, she was ramming that into us before our departure over to Colombia, and that was the best thing that anyone had ever said to me, like to expect the unexpected going into a comp like that, because I then went in with such an open mind and yeah, like whatever was thrown at me with the, we had men standing there with like M16s at the front of our hotel and stuff, and I was just like, wow, and the food and not being able to drink any of the tap water and this and that, and like, yeah, expect the unexpected from Sarah Malkin. Thanks so much. That was probably the best bit of advice, and that's what I would want to pass on to a lot of other athletes, and that can be used for everyday stuff, like even if you're studying or whatever, like school, just to expect the unexpected, because like things pop up, and I don't know, if you thought a due date was something and it's actually not, like you just got to be able to adjust and adapt, and yeah, I think that was probably the best bit of advice that I've got.
Do you have anything to add to that, Shemaiah?
Yes, I do have something to add. Well, like, a piece of advice that I tend to get, and like a lot of athletes probably do get, is to not like go off prior results, because like anything can happen on the day. That's what I always get told. Like, you can go in, and see where you ranked, and like everything can completely change on the day. The conditions can be different. People can handle the pressure better than other people can. So yeah, that's my little bit of advice that I could give to anyone. Just be
So
prepared.
basically the exact same thing as what I just said.
Just word. Just worded a little differently.
It's not. Do you really want to do this now, Phil?
Yeah, I want to do.
That's right. I love it. Will you two be rooming together? Am I right to presume that
That's a good
long jumpers be rooming together, or?
No, thank you. Oh,
Sabotage. Nah, I don't know.
they wouldn't mix.
I might have to room with Josh.
Do you get to? I know the Olympic. Those who have qualified for the Olympics get to sort of put in recommendations or whatnot. Do you guys do the same thing?
No.
Yeah, don't stay with Darcy Roper.
No. Oh no! If I could put in a recommendation though, I'd recommend to AA just to bring Louis anyway, just for the tunes and the good times.
Okay. And I'll do the last question here from another one of your teammates on the aeTVLive World Under-20 Championships later in the year. Oh, he's just submitted another one. We'll do a quick one. Who would win in a rap battle?
Ooh. I don't want to admit defeat because y'all know me like that.
And whoever claims it is going to have to demonstrate. So,
demonstrate.
Can we have a quick demonstration?
I can't
Finish off the stream. Anyone?
Shem can't rap clean. That's why he wouldn't win.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, don't do it. They're being given strict instructions that we're not allowed to swear. So if you can't do it without swearing. And another one from Joseph Deng. Any inspirations or aspirations? Let's go inspirations. So any inspirations? Who is it that you've looked up to in a sporting life? Doesn't have to be a sports person, but I guess maybe in life in general.
Jem, do you want to go?
Got a good last name, first off. LeBron, he's such a dominant person in his field of play, so that's why he's kind of been a big inspiration for me, even though completely different sport. I just admire how dominant one person can be and how much they can do against you.
Alright. LeBron. Who's up? Well, mine would probably be Carl Lewis, but that's because I've spent like a fair bit of time training with him and getting to know him, and we've gone out to dinner a few times and whatnot, and Carl, just the way he speaks, and like I just love and admire the fact that he just states facts and he's not scared to speak his mind kind of thing. So like he doesn't say whatever he wants, but he's not scared to like shy away from saying the way he feels and just telling everyone how he feels and what he thinks, and and he's such a confident guy, and still is, even though his athletic career is finished. Like he's just really confident in everything that he does. So yeah, it's like Carlos is definitely my inspiration.
That was, I guess you answered Fraser Simmons' question. Just came in as well. So what was it like working with Carl Lewis? So there you go, Fraser. And very, very last question. Matthew Hussey, Darcy, any thoughts on the up-and-coming Fatty crew?
Oh, I should have got my band, the Fatty crew. Nah, the boys, down from...
Isn't this a Victorian-based thing? How do you know about the Fatty crew?
Oh, the Fatty crew, like, I didn't even really know them until I started doing, I was like
Giving
encouraging...
headbands out?
Yeah, basically. No, I was encouraging people not to do drugs and compete clean and everything like that over in Perth. And yeah, the boys came up to me and gave me a headband and stuff. And I was going to wear it in the final, but then I had one or two jumps and I hurt my hammy and all that. And but no, the Fatty crew, they're good guys and good support group for me. And they get around it and get around them guys. They've got an Instagram and stuff and yeah, hopefully, I think, it's just like they're a training squad and they post like photos and stuff of their training squad and like just a good bunch of guys, just good lads.
Awesome. So we'll leave it all there. That's just on 1 hour there. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us, agreeing to be our first in the lead up to the World Under-20 Championships. Athletics exclusive. We will be trying to get an interview going with either someone from the aeTVLive World Under-20 Championships or the Olympic Games in the lead up each week to both of those championships. But thanks again, boys. Yes, there we go. There's Darcy's Snapchat. Everyone at him.
On that.
There's a laugh. And there's Shemaiah's Instagram there. Add them both. We'll chuck their links in the description as well. Both would love to have on social media, but follow their journey. I'm sure they'll post all about it on all of their social media accounts, so you can follow it there. We will have it in the description of the video. Thank you very much for watching aeTV. My name's Lachlan Rayner. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube for all the latest news on athletics in Australia and in the lead up to the Rio Olympic Games and the World Under-20 Championships. We'll leave you with this video. Shemaiah, I don't know if you knew. I think I accidentally showed it to you before we went live, but we'll leave you with this video. Thank you again. Until next week, catch you later.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Shemaiah James. I know it's been a while, but I got some news for y'all. It was on Monday. Today's Sunday now, so it's a bit late telling y'all. But I was selected for the Australian team for the World Under-20 Athletic Championships, and I'm going to Poland, fam. So quickly, I just need you to help me out, get me to Poland, because I need some fundraising. So links down below. We got the GoFundMe page going there. Any little piece of donation will help me out a lot. So I appreciate everything that you've done so far. Make sure you jump on the journey right now. So follow it all the way until we go to Poland, fam. And I got Open Nationals next week. So right now, I'm out. Deuces.
Okay.